And the last one, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Well, at least 3 out of the 5.
So I would say 5 times 4 is worth a 20. All right. And lastly, would you like to give me another 20 so that Ann doesn't see this?
She took the picture.
Dick? Jim Walters here.
No, he turned it around
Here. Well, in absenteeing, I think we should somehow get Jim to put up a green leaf for getting me into this situation. And if I pay it, I'll get it from him, I promise you. Thank you.
Into Rotary here, and I hope I get, no, sit up. And I want to say, I hope I get rid of this badge soon. In spite of what all of you have said and all the laughter, I like Sid's jokes. I want you to know that I searched real hard through all the bookstores to find the perfect book for Sid. A joke book. And this one has one-liners par excellence, has punchlines you won't believe, and I'm sure you'll put it to good use. This is joke book. You'll hear these jokes coming up soon. This is worth, Sid, at least $5.
Thank you.
And I'm being kind.
Quite a while, and John just went down to Reno, so they're both broke. I know that for a fact. But I tell you what, you think you could each cough up maybe $10 each, and that will sort of cover my obligation here of $20 for the sponsorship.
Get him to withdraw, you're supposed to do
Or either that, or I could take you to the cleaners. I don't care.
Now it's time for the old beach club.
Should become familiar with, because I read a story about it one time, because I couldn't understand what this puffin business had to do with the Rotary. And it seems that a normal procedure, you know, the wild animals, the male and the females, and so on, the case may be. So when the female lays her eggs in the nest and the male takes off, which is normal procedure, he makes the air of coming back. And the female was hungry, and so she sweet-talked him into getting on the nest while she went out for lunch. Well, she never came back. He couldn't figure out why. So when those eggs were hatched and the little puffins began to squeal for something to eat, why, he had to leave, whether he liked it or not, get them something to eat. And while he was out flying around, what do you know? Here's Mama Puffin on another nest of eggs. So he just couldn't quite believe that. But anyway, he decided to see if it was true. And pretty soon, he saw another puffin fly in, a male puffin fly in, and first thing you know, why, she sweet-talked him into getting on the nest while she went out for something to eat. Now, you can draw your own conclusions, good or bad, but the male puffins got a real feathered deal on that.
Came back from the vacation just in tears. He sent her a bill for $1,000. And she paid. So I think, you know, gotta match that. Al Hagen.
You want to get into a matching contest?
So I came to a couple of meetings, and for lunch on him, freely I dined. The next thing I knew, I was flipping some burgers, and everyone called me a puffin. And I sold lots of tickets for flashlights and sports bags and worried about mighty fine terrorists. But even right from the beginning, I knew that, found that there were lots of guys that I liked here. So in hindsight, I'm glad that he brought me, and I'm taking this once only chance to thank him and thank all of you. But to show you that a puffin ain't harmless, And because today mighty fine protection don't count, I'm making you stand here and listen and exacting a green leaf from you. One other person that I'd like to get is Dick Hawkins, though, but I didn't see that he checked in. Does anybody see Dick? Well, you know, I as you can see, I just got a haircut, and that's where I get my haircuts from. Can everybody that gets their haircut from Dick Hawkins please stand up here? Yeah, if it's just trimming, you know, or if it's just buffing on top, that counts too.
This is what happens when he cuts them too many times.
Well, like this when he cuts it too many. You know, Mr. Dick Hawkins is Mr. Low Profile, and I mentioned to him I was looking forward to seeing him at the meeting yesterday when I saw him yesterday, but I don't see him here. I don't know how many of you know, but his son came into some money just a couple weeks ago. Are you familiar with that? $3.7 million, I believe. So I think, you know, he's probably sitting pretty, or at least he can go to his son for a loan. I think each of the gentlemen standing, or ladies, should come back to Dick for at least $1 next time you come by to see him. So I think we should collect at least $1 from each person standing here.
What have you got to say about this sibling of yours?
Oh, you nasty little kid.
Hi, Dad.
Remember the time in Mexico when you promised me you spoke fluent Spanish?
Yeah.
And we went to the grocery store to get some flour to make the gravy.
Yeah.
And you swore to me to sit on that flour.
Yeah.
What was it, Dennis?
I think it was cornstarch.
No. Baking soda. And we had to clean up that mess in the kitchen when the gravy exploded. That's a lot.
Thanks for cleaning it up.
And now your loving mother, Alice.
I don't recognize her.
Have you been a good boy?
No.
Oh, well, I'll pull your ear then. Go play with Mr. Wilson, will you?
Oh.
Play at Mr. Wilson's house.
And here's the only girl who ever made Dennis turn red, the Italian tomboy bombshell Gina. Where are you, Gina?
I want the low end deal.
Dennis, remember all the fun we used to have playing together?
Oh, yeah, we played good.
Dennis had a soft spot in his heart for me, and I've never forgotten Dennis. In fact, I saved some of the special things he used to give me. Because I wasn't a sissy like all those other girls. He let me have one of his special hats. And one of my favorite memories was when he shared those balls with me.
They've grown a little.
Of course, well, Margaret would run away screaming because she was a sissy. And wouldn't play with frogs and go fishing because of those squiggly worms and stuff.
Yeah, she didn't like the balls.
Dennis and I always used to collect things, and I've always kept my favorite mouse that we played with. But Dennis, I do have to let you know that, well, when I was younger, I used to think that girls were kind of stupid. Now that I'm older, and based on my close association with you, I now know that boys are really dumb.
Well, I'm not sure you do know. But, as a neighbor, you leave much to be desired. You come when I don't want to see you. You annoy my wife when she wants to be annoyed. Somehow, you just aren't what I would think the neighbor we should have. Good luck, Dennis.
Yeah, I thought you were just great. And you were such a cute little baby. So because of that, I baked you some cookies.
Okay, thank you.
There you are.
Go ahead.
If you'd like to stand up, I have a little something for you to sit.
Siéntate.
You gonna make noise?
Oh,
Oh, thank you, man. How can I ever repay you?
Before we get started,
Cucaracha.
before we get started here, would you please tell us what this MFALL stands for?
This is the mighty fine attorney at law.
Good.
With papers to serve on you. May I serve these papers on Signor and read these papers or some of these papers to him?
Read the whole thing.
Ay, ay, ay. In the Superior Court of the State of Sinaloa, Mexico. Consuelo Martinez, Tina Sanchez, Guadalupe, Jalisco, Serafina San Pedro Filippo, and many others, plaintiffs. versus Senor Dennis Shade, defendant. This is the complaint to prove paternity, for child support, and for damages.
Never prove it.
Yes? Well, this is the plaintiff's attorney. Yeah.
Mexico, remember, senor.
Come now the plaintiffs above named and many, many others, similarly situated, and complain as follows. Number one, the plaintiffs are all young, impressionable females and residents of the little town of Copala, state of Sinaloa in Mexico. Number two, each of the plaintiffs and many, many others, similarly situated, have made the acquaintance of the dashing and persuasive defendant, Senor Shade, by meeting him at Senor Frog's, an eating and drinking establishment in Mazatlan. Number three, through guile and cunning, through guile and cunning, the aforesaid defendant, Senor Shade, ingratiated himself with the defenseless young plaintiffs and many other young senoritas. By fraud and artifice, said defendant duped each of the plaintiffs into indiscretions, leading inexorably to a blessed event some 9 months thereafter. Number four, thenceforth and up to the present time, the defendant has refused to live up to his paternal responsibilities, or even to acknowledge his paternity of the offspring numbering in the hundreds. That's the
First thing you said it was right.
At the latest count. Wherefore, the plaintiffs, on behalf of all the poor wronged women similarly situated, pray that Senor Shade be ordered by the court to acknowledge his paternity, to pay all back child support, and to cease and desist from such actions in the future. Signed, Senor Pepe Ugalde. Thank you. Now stop.
Be honest. Hang it over there.
Okay, Dennis, here's your stick.
You didn't call the Mighty Fine Liberation Front, did you?
No. Now, we're gonna put you now. Go for it.
I know you moved that thing.
No, I didn't. Harder. Harder. Come on, Dennis. You can do it. You got the wrong balloon, Dennis. That one was underneath here. That's the right one.
Where did my attorney go? You can have them back.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going
Well, here we are back on another year, October 15th of '93. This is 2 years later. We're back to our favorite Lakewood retreat at the Sullivan Cabin here just out of Lakewood. And it's about 5, as you can see, about 6 o'clock in the evening. This time we haven't got such a beautiful afternoon. It's raining, a little bit misty, but still a very beautiful setting up here. And well, we have probably about a dozen of the fellows from the Rotary Club starting to gather, and tomorrow's a big influx, and Saturday's always a good day. Well, the river's running pretty good this year. We got a little bit of a overcast, misty day, a little bit of a clear cut going up here on the far hill, but sort of nice this evening.
Watching the master of earth work here, huh?
Yeah, he's grinding away on the knife grinder there, starting to make all the knives for the weekend.
Look at this. Look how sharp those knives are. He cut the top out of this can. Just clean as could be.
Was that a pit can or an olive can?
That's a, yeah, it's a pit can, yeah.
All right. Well, here we are back up again for another year of fun. And,
Hey, put the cans and the bottles out there on the
these are our two hosts here, Rick and Ed.
We're recycling, Dad?
Yeah, we're recycling. We're taking home.
Okay, good.
All right. Hello, gang. As we motivate around here to the fireside.
Well, if you guys didn't hear that, if you've got a can or a
Okay.
pop can or something.